Good morning. So I'm in a new location. I'm in Ambleside in the Lake District. So this is my backup plan because the Wi-Fi seems a bit dodgy here, so sorry about that. Anyway, it's lashing with rain outside, so we're going to have a very wet dog W, aren't we, Raffles? So, good morning. Namaste. I hope you're all well. So, I thought we would start with a little mini Ashtanga session, so to get everyone warmed up, limbed up for the day. But we'll start with our pranayama, to come to sit. And sitting on your block or a firm cushion, tilt your hips over the front edge of that to give you a nice tall spine. Close your eyes. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. And then starting to deepen your breath, keeping your mouth closed. Start to inhale to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 6. Feeling the breath coming deep into the belly first, swelling out the belly, lifting up through the side ribs, the top of the chest, and then the wave of the breath going down the other side. Feeling the shoulders sink a little in the chest, and then squeezing the diaphragm, navel to spine. Feeling the quietness, focusing on your breath, letting go of any external sounds. And then at the bottom of the next exhalation, lowering your head and opening your eyes. Okay, come to the front of your mat. And don't forget that you can make use of your block if you need it, and if you need to take a break, you come down into child's pose, balasana. Standing at the front of your mat, standing mountain for a moment. Feel that energy lifting up. Lift your toes, spread them, gently place them down. Feel all 4 corners of the feet pressing into the mat. Lifting up through the thighs. Feel as if you're almost squeezing your shins towards each other. Feel that energy lift. Lift the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Bring your navel towards your spine, Uddiyana Bandha. And as the chest lifts, slide the shoulder blades down your back. We're going to do 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. So lowering through chaturanga, so squeeze the forearms, the elbows towards each other. Want to feel the chest coming forward, squeeze the outer hips, lowering. Inhale to cobra, press the tops of your feet down, the pubic bone, and then bring your shoulder blades down towards your waist. Exhale, tuck your toes, lifting up into down dog, and then just walking the dog for a moment, walking your heels. Inhale, press through the index finger and the thumb up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, step, hop, jump. Come to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Bring your weight more towards the balls of your feet. You can bend your knees and hold onto your elbows if you need to. Then inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. So straight arms, gently pushing into the shins to extend the spine, lift up through the thighs. Exhale, palms down, step back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. You can come into up dog. If you want to deepen your practice, then lowering down, lifting your hips, take 3 breaths. So start to activate your Ujjayi breath, breath with sound. Inhale, up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Step, hop, jump forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, palms down. Step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. 3 breaths. Inhaling, looking forward, come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do 1 round of Surya Namaskar B. So adding in chair pose and warrior 1. Inhale to chair pose, sinking back. So sit down, take your knees back, neutral spine, arms come up and look between your thumbs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Warrior 1 on the right side, turn the left toes out. Bring the right foot between your hands. Hips level with the front of the mat. Sink through the right knee. Bring the arms up. Palms together. Feel that upper back curl. Squeeze your core. Exhale, palms down. Stepping back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog, warrior one on the left side. Bring the left foot between your hands. Palms come up, look up. Exhale, palms down. Lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale to chair pose. Squeeze your thighs, lift up through your core. Rising up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take your feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees deeply. Take 2 fingers and your thumb and wrap them around your big toes. Relax your head and shoulders. Take your elbows out to the sides and start to lift your hips. So it doesn't matter if you don't get to straight legs, but you want to keep the weight more towards your toes. Tip your tailbone up, so feeling into the back of the legs. So you don't want to have straight arms, just keep your knees bent. We're not pulling with the arms, we're using the core to keep our stomach on our thighs almost, as you straighten your legs. Okay, then inhale, reaching the head forward, squeeze your core, lift up onto your heels. So you're going to take, this is Padahastasana, so you're going to take the back of the hand onto the mat. So you're going to rest your foot or put your foot on your hand and you want your toes touching your palm. So as you can see, you can keep your knees deeply bent, relax your head. That might be enough if you can. You're going to lift your hips a little bit. Be careful, feel those muscles, making sure there's no pain near the joints. You just want that little burning sensation of a muscle stretching, no pain. Okay, bend your knees, remove your hands, hands to your hips, squeeze your elbows towards each other. Come up nice and slowly. Then from the front of the mat we're going to come into a Trikonasana triangle. Standing in mountain, inhale, take your left foot back. You want to point the left foot to the back of the mat, the right foot parallel to the front of the mat. Lift up through your thighs, squeeze the thighs to the midline, feel your pelvic floor lift, your core, take the arms wide, shrug them up, roll them back, look over your front hand, take the right hip back, reach, 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 side body long, and then lowering the bottom hand, opening through the collarbone, so squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, keep that length in the spine, looking up at your top hand. If you feel it's like too uncomfortable or the arm is at a strange angle, it's maybe because you don't have enough of the rotation, bringing the left side of the chest across the thigh. So you can keep your hand on your hip and just look forward. Squeeze the thighs, inhale, coming up, take the arms wide, turn the feet parallel, and then turn the right foot to face forward, the left foot parallel to the back of the mat. So now take the left hip back, reach over the right leg, side body long, squeeze the core and then drop the top hand. Feel pulling the thigh bone up and that leaning back, trying to get the shoulders in line with the hips. Inhale, squeeze the thighs, lift up through the top hand, Bend the front knee, exhale, step to the front of the mat. Inhaling, take the left foot back. We're going to come into Parsvakonasana side angle stretch. So left foot pointing to the back of the mat, right foot parallel to the front, bend through the left knee. Keep the knee above the ankle. So this one, you can have the block on the inside of the foot. So modification 1 is to rest the forearm with the palm facing up, but just resting it, don't be sinking down. Bring your right hand to your sacrum, or take it a little bit further, you can bring the hand to the block or even to the floor. But if you're down on the floor, you still need to open through the rib cage, so that's what makes it harder to revolve open. Then reach the top hand up, sweep it over, palm goes down, and then turn the thumb to point up. You're looking up under your armpit. So feel that rotation through the spine, squeeze the thighs to the midline. Inhale, press through the feet, lift up, take the feet parallel, and then turn the right foot to face the front of the mat, the left foot parallel with the back of the mat. Side angle stretch. So Parsvakonasana. So as you bend through the right knee, think about that side angle stretch, so whichever level you're coming to. You want to feel when you sink through the right knee, sink the hip down. As you take that top arm up and over, feel that side stretch. So press the outer left foot into the mat, stretching all the way up. That side body keeps sinking the hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Inhaling, take the left foot out, bring your feet parallel. Place the block in front if you need to. This is Prasarita Padottanasana. So, feet are parallel, which means the outer edges of the feet. Bring your hands to your hips first. Feel the shins, the ankles, the shins, the thighs squeezing towards the midline. Then lift up through the pelvic floor, navel to spine. And then we're going to start to fold forward, but keep the hips you want to bring the front of the pelvis forward, so rather than just taking the bottom back. Bring your hands down. If you need to use the block, that's fine. Otherwise you want to bring the hands onto the mat, slide the fingertips back in line with your toes, squeeze the elbows towards each other, lift up through the hips, so tipping your tailbone up, and then exhale, fold, and feel that it's almost as if you're pressing your hands down into the mat and then pushing them towards, or pushing the fingertips away, reaching the crown of the head. Bring your weight into the balls of your feet more. And then inhale, come onto your fingertips or onto the block, come to a flat back. Keep the tailbone tipping up. And now we're going to bring our hands to our hips. Same thing, but this time not using the arms. You're just holding onto your pelvis, the bony part of your pelvis there, and folding forward. Feel your core. Tip your tailbone up. And ideally the crown of the head is on the mat. But I don't know about you. I run quite a bit, quite active, so very tight around, or tighter around the hips than some. Okay, fingertips down, bend your knees a little. Slowly come up. Heel toe your feet, so you can bring them together. And coming back to the front of your mat. think I'm going to face, I think the light is better this side. This little cottage. Okay, so now we're going to try a balancing pose. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So we're going to be standing on one leg, but you can use a strap, a towel, if you want to, or if you want to try the full pose. We're going to pick our drishti, centre of gravity. Take that over the right leg, inhale, and lift the left leg up. If you want to go into the full pose, which is take your arm on the outside of the leg to keep the hip joint closed. You're going to take 2 fingers and a thumb and wrap them around the big toe, then standing up, sort of hugging the knee in, activating the hip flexor, and then pushing through the ball of the foot to straighten the leg. But if you're coming into a modification, you can use the strap to do that as well, or a towel, or just the balancing pose is to take the back of the hand against the knee and then guide the hip out. So feeling almost like it's, rather than just taking the hip straight round, lift up slightly and then feel as if you're externally rotating slightly the top of the hip. It helps to open through the hip joint. Balance, so lifting up strongly through the left thigh. Come back to centre. Now we're going to point the toe, working through the hip flexors here. So lifting up strongly, lift up through your core, chest lifts, shoulders relaxed. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Keep pointing that toe. 3, 2, 1, bend and release. Other side. I feel like I'm cutting the top of my head off. Is that what's happening? Take my mat back a bit. Okay, other side. Bring your centre of gravity over the left leg. Inhale the right. Bring your hand to the inside. I feel here like I felt wobble there, which is brilliant to activate and strengthen through the ankles. But spread your toes, place them down again, so try not to grip. A little external rotation through the top of the hip, and then take the leg out. Feel how you're squeezing your outer glutes, outer hips. Inhale, bring back to centre. Rebalance and then point. So try not, you can just point here if you can. You're going to try and lift the leg up. Feel it's almost like you're pulling the thigh bone back into the hip socket, lifting up strongly through the right leg, and then exhale, release, give it a shake. We're going to come into figure 4. So standing on the right leg, bend the left leg, flex the left foot, protect your knee, hands to your hips, and then you're going to sit back. So sit back and take the knee back, the standing leg knee back a little, tip your tailbone up. You can bring your hands forward if you want to. This is where we're trying to feel the stretch, is through the outer hip, the glute. And if you want to, you can either stay here. If you want to, you'll reach the fingertips down, relax the head, and start to straighten the standing leg. But keep squeezing the core, bringing the chest towards that shin, and then bend the standing leg, reach the chest forward, inhale, hands to hips, coming up, exhale, release. Other side. Okay. Bending the right leg, flexing that foot, and then sit back. And whichever maybe you want to stop here or you want to fold, just making sure the knees feel good. And then inhale, coming up. Oops. Exhale, release. Okay, we're going to then, making this the front of my mat, we're going to come through vinyasa, so it's a little mini sun salute. So bend your knees, palms down, step back. On the exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Lift up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Check your hands, always make sure pressing all the finger knuckles and the palm in. Look forward. Hop. And then we come straight into the next pose. So from your hop forward, you're going to bend your knees, come into Utkatasana, chair pose. So sitting down, take the knees back slightly. Keep the breath coming nice and even. And then we're going to vinyasa again. Exhale, forward fold. Take your legs back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. And now we're going to come straight into the warrior sequence. So we're going to come into warrior one on the right side. Turn the left toes out, lift the right leg up behind you, knee to nose, place the right foot between your hands and feet hip distance apart, squeeze the thighs to the midline, turn your hips to the front of the mat and bring your arms up. So if you find it hard to keep your arms up, you can come into James Bond fingers, so index finger pointing upwards, clasp the hands. That helps to push the heel of the hand forward, straighten the arms, and then you want to look up, so it's feel the core lift, upper back curling, shoulders away from ears, keep sinking through the right knee. Have a quick glance down as your knee above your ankle. Inhale, straighten the legs. We're going to turn the other way, so swivel. So now we're going to have left leg forward, right toes pointing slightly forward, so pushing through the back heel. Inhale, bring your arms up. Sink through the left knee, hips level to the front edge of the mat. And try not, when you're looking up, not just to raise your eyebrows. Lift it, it's like a curl up through the spine. So you feel your shoulders start to lean back and your gaze goes up. Not just your eyebrows. Okay, now we're going to open into Warrior Two. So I'm the wrong way round, but I'll bear with me. So Warrior Two, the right foot parallel to the back of the mat, left foot bend, take your arms wide, squeeze your shoulder blades, and make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Feel how this is opening through the hips, externally rotating that right thigh. One more breath, looking over the front hand. Inhale, turn the right foot so it's parallel to the front of the mat. Can't bear not facing you. Sink through the right knee, feel this opening through the hips. Keep sinking, so don't lean forward. Warrior Two, we want the chest, the shoulders above the hips. Take the arms wide, look over your front hand. So sinking but strong, so feel strength in this back thigh, lifting up through the kneecap, lift the pelvic floor. And now we're going to take a vinyasa from here. So we're going to cartwheel the hands over, step back, lower through chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale to up dog, exhale to down dog. We're going to come into our seated poses. So cross, bring the left knee behind the left wrist, cross the legs with the toes pointed, so you roll over your feet, Dandasana, staff pose. Pressing the backs of the thighs down, flex at the ankles, lift up through the core. So the arms are just resting here, and then 5 breaths. So keep that lift, press through your sitting bones, lift up through your core. Stay there. Just it's harder than you think to sit well. Now we're going to come into seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So lift up through the core, inhale, bring your arms up. And then as you lift up, bring the chest up, roll over the front of the pelvis. So now you can take 2 fingers and a thumb and wrap around your big toes. But if you feel that you're already sinking, the arms are pulling, release your toes, just rest your hands beside you so you can lift up, press the backs of the thighs down, flex the feet, use your core. And use the breath, so every exhale, see if you can deepen the pose, so soften into it. Inhale. Reaching up, let go of the feet. We're going to come into Purvottanasana, reverse plank. Palms pressing down with your fingertips pointing towards your hips. Hug the elbows towards each other so you can bend the elbows back, point your toes. So the modification on this, we're going to lift our hips and touch our toes down. It might be too intense through your shoulders, and normally you'll drop the head back, but we're actually going to keep looking forward, so keep looking down the body as you go up. So tabletop is your modification, is to place your feet hip distance apart, hug the knees towards each other so the thighs are parallel, hug the elbows, lift the chest and then lift the hips, press the hips up. Just keep looking down. If you want to come into the full pose, internally rotate the thighs so the feet will want to go out. So roll the thighs inwards so the knees are pointing up. Point your toes, hug the elbows in, lift the chest, inhale, hips up. Touch your feet down. If it feels really good, you can drop the head back, but I suggest you just keep looking forward, and then exhale, lower your hips. And then we're going to take one vinyasa, so bend at the knees. You want to hug your heels towards your hips and point your toes. So you're going to roll over your feet, roll forward, palms down, step back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. And then we're going to jump forward, or you can jump to cross-legged, or you can just, but if you're jumping forward, rather than just placing your legs down, you still need to point your toes so you come onto the tops of your feet, like so. And then roll back to sit. We're going to come into Janu Sirsasana. So, straight legs. Take the right leg out, keep the foot flexed, bend the left leg with the sole of the foot against the inner thigh, soften through the hips. Inhale, lift your arms up, so feel, don't sag down, you press through your sitting bones, lift up through your core, and then revolve, so your torso can now fold over the left leg. And the same thing, if you can't reach the foot without stretching, just feeling it too much in the upper back rather than the core, just release your hands down, use your core to lift the chest, squeeze, relax your head. Keep the right foot flexed, press the back of the thigh down. Then inhale, coming up, exhale, hands to heart center, change sides. So flex the left ankle, bring the sole of the right foot against the thigh, inhale, lift up through the core, revolve, exhale, fold. So really feel as if you're stamping the right foot into a wall, so pushing through the sole of the foot. You can feel that energy coming up through the left thigh, lifting up through the core, folding deeper. If you feel the right knee is dangling in midair, then if your hips are a little tight, you can prop. Poor Raffles, it's very bored. You want to go on your W, don't you? Nearly done. Okay, and then inhale, coming up, back to center, exhale, release. And we're going to do one more pose, our twisting Marichi Asana. So, straight legs in front of you, flex the feet, and then you're going to bend the right foot and have, we're going to have the foot against the thigh. Keep the left foot flexed, so pressing the back of the thigh down. Take the right hand behind you. Inhale, lift the left arm up, drop the elbow over the right thigh. Come to that stop sign. So you're feeling that energy of pushing the arm and the leg in towards each other. Press through your sitting bones, lift up through your core, and then revolve to look behind you. Drop that right shoulder away. Inhale, look back to center, exhale, release, other side, so flexing the right foot, bring the left foot against the right thigh, taking left hand behind you, so don't allow this knee to roll out, so you want to keep the lift in the chest and then that energy, so energetically hugging the two towards each other. Lift the right arm up, drop the elbow over the thigh, and then as you Press through your sitting bones, lift up, then revolve to look behind you, dropping the left shoulder away. Nice twist through the spine. Press the back of the right thigh down. Inhale, look back to centre. Exhale, release. Come to lie on the mat. I'm going to do thread the needle. So crossing the right ankle across the left thigh, then hug, flex the right foot, keep the knees safe, and then thread the needle so the right arm goes through in between the thighs, hug the knee, the back of the thigh towards you. So we did this standing, figure 4, but now you can deepen it a little if you want to hold onto your shin, it's a bit stronger, but keep that right foot flexed. Keep the head and shoulders relaxed on the mat, and then release, change sides. Flex the left foot as you cross it over the right thigh. And then release. Cross your ankles, hug your knees in. That's a big sigh, Ruffles. And then we're going to roll, so just gently start to hug your knees, keep your head and chest coming towards your knees and just rocking up and down on the spine. See if you can reach up onto your shoulders. And then come to sit. Facing me. Close your eyes. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Lowering your head. And opening your eyes. Namaste, everyone. Hope you have a lovely day and see you tomorrow. And it's time for walkies, Russ. Yeah.